The sound of power tools at dawn is rarely a good omen. But it was especially jarring when it was followed by the words, "Sir, I'm going to need you to step away from your own dock." There I was barefoot, pajama pants sagging slightly, coffee still steaming in my hand, watching two guys I didn't recognize bolt a 6-foot metal fence across the mouth of my private canoe launch. One of them even had the audacity to smile and wave like this was just part of some casual Tuesday gig. Behind them stood Meredith, HOA president. Terror in a pastel tracksuit. Sunglasses big enough to double as riot shields. Clipboard clutched in her hand like she was about to lay siege to a courtroom. She didn't even let me get a word out. "You've been using this launch without proper authorization," she declared, like a town crier with a grudge. I blinked. "I've owned this house for 7 years. That canoe launch has been mine for 6 of them. As of this morning, this area falls under HOA protection for liability and safety reasons," she said crisply. "If you have concerns, take it up with the board." I looked at the workers, now zip-tying a private HOA use-only sign to the new fence, then at Meredith, and finally at my canoe stranded on the lawn like a dog watching its family drive away. That's when it clicked. Not just what she was doing, but why she thought she could get away with it. Meredith had been itching for full control since she rigged her way into the HOA presidency last year in a suspicious vote count that included her husband, her brother-in-law, and a part-timer who mysteriously got a ballot. Ever since, it had been a circus. Fines for non-existent violations. A ban on plastic flamingos. And something she referred to as the Visual Harmony Initiative, which really just meant do things my way or else. But fencing off my canoe launch? That was the line in the sand. "Meredith," I said, keeping my voice steady, "this isn't HOA property. Everything from the mailbox to the water is on my deed." She made that smug little noise in the back of her throat, the kind of fake laugh you'd expect from someone who thinks rules exist for everyone else. "We had the maps reviewed by the board. Your deed stops 3 feet short of the waterline. We've assumed custodial oversight." I stared. "Assumed custodial oversight?" I repeated slowly. "So that you made that up this morning? If you'd like to contest it, submit your concerns in writing." Then she turned with the flair of someone who just won a duel and strutted off in her orthopedic sneakers. The workers kept drilling. I finished my coffee, went inside, pulled out a weathered file labeled Lakefront Extension Deed Plus Survey, then made 2 phone calls. First was my lawyer. Second was Garrett. Garrett is 82, smokes cigars the size of pool noodles, and owns the lot directly next to mine, which includes the dock Meredith claimed was community property. Garrett never joined the HOA. Once told me he'd rather eat a squirrel raw than hand Meredith a cent. We talked for years about me buying his land. Now, it wasn't just a conversation. It was war prep. "Make me an offer," Garrett growled over the phone. "You still got that golf cart I like? Toss in a bottle of bourbon and I'll sign it before lunch." That night, paperwork was drafted. By Friday, the deed was filed. Everything launch, the scruffy bushes Meredith once tried to trim without permission, was mine. I walked back to the fence that evening, sun glowing off the lake, and smiled. Because Meredith's sign? It was now posted on my land. Next morning, the neighborhood Facebook group exploded. Someone had leaked a screenshot of the fence with Meredith's typed proclamation that certain residents must be managed for community safety. The replies were savage. One asked if she planned to fence off the ducks next. Another wondered when she got her law degree. My favorite came from Jim down the street. "If she tries to fence off my dog again, I'm teaching her what leash law really means." Meredith, undeterred, doubled down. She posted a long, typo-ridden essay about safeguarding shared assets and strategic land boundary realignment, a phrase she used so often I half expected her to announce an invasion of Ukraine. Then she made a mistake. She filed an HOA improvement notice with the city labeling the launch as community property. That triggered a flag in the county's property records system because my name was already on the deed. The county clerk called me. "Did you know someone's trying to file claims on your property?" "I do now," I said. "And I think it's about to get fun." And fun it was. Garrett and I finalized the paperwork. My lawyer filed a notice to the HOA. Remove your fence within 48 hours or face $500 per day in fines. Continued use of the area constitutes trespassing. Meredith didn't write back. She showed up. "You think this is funny?" She hissed at my door, her golf cart idling at the curb. Her husband sat inside it, face frozen like he was trying to astral project out of his marriage. No, I said. I think it was inevitable. You can't just buy land to spite me. I didn't. I bought it because I was tired of being spite. You've created a hostile HOA environment. You built a fence on my property. This isn't over. It kind of is. She stormed off. I sipped coffee. Watched the lake catch fire with golden light. The fence stayed up another 2 days. I think she thought I was bluffing. But property law isn't a suggestion. That Sunday, I invited Garrett over. He brought a lawn chair and a cigar already lit. Is that the thing they built? He asked, eyeing the fence. Yep. Looks like a raccoon built it with rage and leftover bed frames. We sat. Watched as 2 HOA members clipboard bros in matching polis approached the fence and read the new sign. Private property entry by permission only owner. Tyler. They took photos. One spotted us lounging and immediately pretended to be fascinated by a bush. Garrett leaned over. Think they know you own their precious dock yet? Not until they get the new insurance premium. Because, you see, since they no longer owned the land beneath that dock, their insurance policy was null. Their carrier issued a new quote double the old rate. My lawyer added a cherry on top. No dock access granted without signed land use agreement including a hefty rental fee. QHOA panic. Meredith tried to rally the board into a countersuit. Problem? Nobody wanted to sue me. I was likable. She was Meredith. So she turned to the neighborhood group chat, started posting vague threats about residents compromising harmony and hostage situations. I responded with a meme, me sipping lemonade beside a printout of my deed. Fence in the background. Caption. Hostage? That's bold from folks trespassing on my lawn. It was shared 40+ times. At the next emergency HOA meeting, things went nuclear. Meredith tried to bury the insurance hike in an infrastructure budget. But Marcy, a treasurer with zero tolerance for BS, called her out mid-meeting. You mean to tell me we're paying $6,000 more because you fenced off land we don't own? 3 people outside heard. Half the room walked out. Meredith's face went redder than a chili pepper in July. Back at my house, I posted fresh markers on the property. I even offered the HOA a land use contract business only, no emotions. Reasonable rate? They declined. That dock? Now off limits. That's when the notes started. First, a passive-aggressive letter. It's a shame one neighbor's actions ruin things for everyone. I replied with a photo of the fence. Yeah. Shame someone built this eyesore. Then came private messages, apologies, subtle inquiries about small events on the dock. I declined. Liability's liability. One night, I caught Meredith snooping near the markers, tape measure in hand, muttering like she was casting spells. Trailcam caught everything. Then she crossed the final line. Someone ripped the signs out and hurled them into the lake. My trailcam caught her red-handed, literally glowing sneakers. Hoodie up, full Olympic discus throw. My lawyer hand-delivered a cease and desist the next morning. Still image attached. Trespassing charges pending. The fence disappeared 24 hours later. No announcement. Just gone. I had my dock back. But I wasn't done. 2 days later, the HOA sued me. Claimed I was obstructing access to community property. Wanted daily fines. My lawyer laughed. Filed a countersuit. Trespassing, unauthorized construction, property damage, legal fees, and a public apology. The HOA unraveled. Meredith tried to spin things as me tearing apart community cohesion. Meanwhile, I was cleaning up beer cans from their last event. I gave them one last lowered land use rate, occasional event access. They responded with a cease and desist. So I went nuclear. Land surveyor. Neon orange boundary stakes. 3D elevation model. Motion-activated lights and a speaker. You are entering private property. Please step back. Meredith called the sheriff. Deputy laughed. Told her to go home. Then came court. The judge ruled everything in my favor. The property was mine. The HOA had trespassed. Injunctions were issued. Meredith's silence was deafening. The fallout? Delicious. Meredith resigned. Her emails exposed petty fines, misspent funds, $2,800 in refreshments, read, wine, cheese, mugs with her face. She vanished. For sale, sign up within a week. Rumor is she's planning to join another HOA. Or flee to the wilderness. Me? I opened the dock. Hosted lakeside evenings. Installed a bench with a plaque. Sit down. Relax. It's not that serious. The dock is mine. But the piece? That belongs to everyone. And every time I slide my canoe into that water, I smile. Because I didn't just weenie helped take the neighborhood back. One fence at a time.